Miss Cook is still there. She was my first grade teacher. Also,
what was Miss Cook like having as a teacher?
She always brought her dog Sophie, who is no longer alive, but I love Sophie so much, and I don't know the name of her new dog. Pip. Okay.
I was hired in 1995 by Liz Holt and Will Stacy. And I was hired to teach first grade, but I was also given the extracurricular duty of creating a lower school drama production. So I had never done anything like that before, but I found a script called something about the rainforest. It had this environmental twist already, and I was excited about it. And I held tryouts, fifth graders, and hung the lists of who got what part in the hall. And all of a sudden, all these teachers started coming down and saying, oh, that child never even brings their homework back. How are they going to learn all those lines? Or this child is out of control, you'll never. And I suddenly panicked, but there was nothing I could do. And it turned out to be a fabulous production. And some of the kids that I had been told to be worried about were just stars. And it taught me that very first year to not assume anything about what children are able to do or not do, and that everybody has their way of shining.
I remember at carpool at the end of the day, my friend Olivia and I, who I'm still friends with after like 14 years, sometimes we would ride home together, and Mr. Lamas would always say stuff like, oh, look at the two of you, friends for so long, and to this day.
The thing that has changed is when I first came here in 1996, I toured for my daughter who was in preschool, and I thought, this must have really good academics because the facility was ancient. The furniture was painted toothpaste blue, the carpets were brown, the room was dark, there was no air conditioning, and we came here anyway, and all these years later, I took a hike behind the school the other day in the mountains and on the hiking trail, and I came down on a Saturday, and the campus had just been freshly mulched, and I looked around and I thought, this is the most beautiful place to be in. You actually feel lucky to be a part of this school now. Every place you look, everything looks beautiful and well kept.
Well, the best part was I came here right out of college in 1979, and my mother and I got to teach in the same building for 12 years before she retired.
I remember when in my first life at North Cross, when I taught here right out of college, going to Billy Ellis's house for a picnic. And I even remember that I took my grandmother's potato salad. And every time I drive through Elliston, which is where she lived, I always would point out to my children, this is Billy Ellis's house, the founder of North Cross